Yesterday on stream, prominent streamer and now pro player, actually I don't know why I'm giving him an introduction, because if you're watching this, a league video, there's a 100% chance you've heard of this guy. The Baus FFS was talking about his future with the team, and his answer kinda shocked me, but I also kinda expected it too. Anyway, he said there was actually a fair bit of uncertainty on his future with the team, the hyper popular Los Ratones. I've cut up the full clip here with none of the fluff, so I'll let that play first before giving my thoughts.
Chat, we had team meeting yesterday with Los Ratones. Maybe I shouldn't. We were discussing future plans. I mean, I'm more thinking from an individual standpoint, right? Like, what do I want to do with my life? Because kind of how we've had it this year is, and this is for the better or for worse, right? I think it's been great. Basically how we've had it in Los Ratones is we've had coaches and we've had like people who tell us what to do, meta stuff, new strategies, and they will tell us these strategies, and then it's basically up to me as a player or anyone as the player to fucking listen or not, right? And like I just kind of want to play my own game, you know. I just don't want to go into a point in my life where I get bored of the game, you know. Turn into this thing where I wake up for 5 hours a day and I play passive under tower for 5 hours every day. That's not what I want to do. That's not how I play.
Bro, just tell us, can you stream next year? No way you are giving up your streaming career.
No, for sure not. I'm kind of thinking for myself, like, what do I really want? Do I want to sit under tower for 5 hours every day in scrims and then rock up to a official match and like sit under tower there as well? Like, I'd rather just, you know, streaming and griefing solo queue sounds a lot more. So I'm kind of contemplating, right, what I want to do. Best case would be if I can grief and int in pro play. That's always been a good time. But I think people are kind of done with me doing that. The mood in the team right now could be better, you know. I think if enemy top laner stands 0 another time, Crowny might lose it, you know. I gotta stop hinting, I think.
But if you really play LEC next year, you have no time to stream and all scrims will be off stream.
Yeah, it's all being discussed, right?
You're 100% of the game weak-sided. Why isn't Crowny 10-0?
These last few weeks when we prepare for EMS, there were a lot of offline scrims. And I spent like 6 hours every day just playing fucking games, scrimming. And then some days I wasn't even able to stream because like the time schedules were so cooked. And you know, I'm not gonna play fucking pro play if that means I can't stream, you know. I'd much rather stream than play pro play, obviously. Like that's a no-brainer. I will never do it like how we did now, pretty much. Where I spend like fucking 2 days a week streaming. I'm not into. I want to stream. That's why Los Ratones was so good. Because Los Ratones gave me the opportunity to stream the scrims, and it was a lot more chill team. It was a lot more relaxing, and that way, so it was so perfect for me. I feel like the more and more, like especially the second half of the year, and depending on how next year looks, we're turning more and more into a real professional athlete team, you know. And I have no place in that, you know. I'm not gonna give up my streaming career for pro play. If the schedule means I need to scrim 6 hours a day and review 3 hours a day, I'm not saying anything, Chad. Don't get it wrong. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I'm constantly looking for a solution, and I will not give up my streaming career to be a pro player.
Now, I actually really understand his first point, like being told how to play the game and what champions to pick to succeed in a professional setting and why he dislikes it. I mean, years ago, I was a sub for a team in the Oceanic Challenger Series, or the OCS, which was like Academy, I guess you'd call it, and my experience there was not a long one, nor was it successful. As much as competitive league can be fun, I found being on tank duty and having to practice champions I didn't want to a highly unappealing aspect of play. Not only that, I wasn't comfortable off my main champions because I can really only play bruisers. While Baus's champion pool, as unconventional as it is very solid, it's not the most competitively viable either, and he's often gone through phases of having multiple of his champions banned, which then forces him to pick something he's not as comfortable on nor even enjoys playing. This can be a pretty big sufferance for top laners. Your champion really has to round out the comp, and often you're forced to succeed on picks you don't even like, while playing weak side or with no resources. Which, from what Baus said here, sounds exactly like what he dislikes about pro play. Not only that, when he plays solo queue on stream, he obviously can play what he wants, how he wants, on his own schedule, while probably earning more than pro play. So it doesn't surprise me in the least he's considering his options. Another thing to consider is the shift in Los Ratones' team dynamic, which is probably making professional less enjoyable for him as well. They kind of started out not knowing how good they'd be, and a lot of what the team was had never been seen before, giving them a huge advantage. Another thing to consider is the shift in Los Ratones' team dynamic, which is probably making professional less enjoyable for him as well. The team kind of started out not knowing how good they'd be, and a lot of what the team was had never been seen before, giving them a huge advantage. But as they went further and further with their success, I feel they all started to take it more seriously as well, which obviously leads to more frustration too. And this kind of dulls the magic Los Ratones had in the first place. As Baus said at the end, he was never really in it to be a super professional, highly strung team. I think this comment on Reddit on your screen really hits the nail on the head, and it echoes a lot of what I said here. Like when Los Ratones began, Baus was destroying. His unconventional playstyle and champ pool had never been prepped for, and he'd often be drawing 3+ members of the opposing team to deal with him. But his playstyle is also a double-edged sword, even more so in pro play. When it works, it hurts, but when it doesn't work, it hurts his team, which I think is what he was getting at around halfway through the clip. Not only have enemies begun to figure out how to counter his int-to-win and resource-focused gameplay style, his team probably finds it difficult to play with at times as well. What is his biggest strength is also his biggest weakness. It also sounds like the further the clip gets along, the more certain he sounds of choosing streaming. With all this being said though, of course nothing is set in stone, and the more he voices his concerns, I feel like the team may accommodate, or cajole at least, to keep him playing. Because if Baus were to leave, no matter who replaced him, Los Ratones would lose what made it amazing in the first place. It wasn't just Baus in isolation, but the cohesion and atmosphere his presence brought to the team. Baus is very much the essence of Los Ratones. They might still be an amazing performing team and will always have a loyal fan base, but their rise to popularity was fueled by the team being something different, unique, and refreshing. Anyway, let me know your opinion on Bausy potentially leaving Los Ratones next year, and what you think will happen to the team if he does down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for a Worlds recap video. Bye!